Warzone Huttball. Huttball takes place on the neutral planet of Nar Shaddaa, run by the Hutt Cartel. Nar Shaddaa, Hutt Cartel. It is a game that players can go for fame and fortune. They can battle against the opposite faction. They can battle against their same faction. There's a ball in the middle. Grab the ball, get it to the enemy's side. Anything goes. Dirty fighting. You can throw the ball. You can pass the ball. You can intercept the ball, and it's all commentated. Did we queue up there, Cameron? All right. So another thing that we're excited about announcing at PAX and Gamescom is the end game. We talked about how story and choice makes a difference in the character you make and its progression. We can bring it to bear in PvP with our war zones, open world PvP, and flashpoints. Where's that coming from? Flashpoints. Flashpoints are where 4 players get together, they go on role-playing adventures together, they make choices that has the action unfold differently based on the choices they make, and then operations. Operations, 8 to 16 players get together, and they face the greatest threats in the galaxy. And there's varying difficulty modes. So the hardcore MMO players can put it on hard and get better rewards, like I'm sure most of you guys are, and the casual that aren't that familiar can as well. Are we gonna fire it up? All right, well, let's go to a video that gives you an introduction as to what Huttball is. Go ahead and fire the video, guys. In the back, fire the video. Fire.
Alright, so this is really easy. All you do is just mirror the
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pit. The bounteous and magnificent Jurado Hutt salutes you. May the winners feast on victory. Fair enough?
Listen up! These are the rules of Huttball. 2 teams, Frog Dogs and Rotworms, chosen by random draw. Grab the ball, throw the ball. Get the ball over the opposing team's line any way you can, and your team gets a point. Weapons, name calling, and cheating are all discouraged. Let's play Huttball! Rotworms have the ball. Show us what you've got, Rotworms. Rotworm ball handler is down. Frog Dog throws to Frog Dog. Nice pass. Frog Dog score. Neutral ball. Let's go, Matters. Perhaps the worst throw in Frog Dog team history. Really, really terrible. Ouch! That was one tough Frog Dog. Score 1 for the Rotworms. Time's almost up. Somebody kill someone.
These Huttball obstacles are provided by Circa Corporation. Circa, brilliant solutions for a brighter tomorrow.
All right. Well, you guys can get in line over there to play some Huttball. But first, we're going to do a Q&A. James Nolan, we'll jump straight to the Q&A. Yeah, everyone can play Huttball. After the Q&A, over there you wait in line. People can play the Huttball over there. At the Star Wars booth.
Anyone want to ask a question for the developers of Star Wars: The Old Republic?
Where'd the mic go? David, where are you?
I'm sorry, I'm all the way back. Hey guys.
Over there with the mic.
Is there any type of a spectator mode for PvP?
There currently is not. Yeah, go ahead, David, repeat the question, but I think he said, is there a spectator mode?
Yes, he did.
There's currently not a spectator mode, but like visual combat and visual objectives is sort of a key component to our war zones and PvP. So we've got the building blocks to set up for that, and that's something we want to explore in the future.
Raise your hand if you have a question so I can find you. Up front. Do you have a mic, Steven? Or am I coming up there? All right, excuse me guys, working my way up.
We have a question over here.
All right, we've heard a little bit about world bosses in the past. Can you talk a little bit about the difference between world bosses and operations?
So the question is, what is the difference between world bosses and operations? So what he's talking about, operations are high-level Flashpoint type content where you have multiple groups going in to do story content and face off against some of the deadliest creatures and villains in the galaxy. Our world bosses, in every single one of our worlds, we put large creatures. For example, on Tatooine you might need a huge Rancor monster, or on Hara you might need a swamp beast. But and the world bosses, as we're calling them, are creatures that you can only defeat if you join up with a whole bunch of different groups. It might take like 3 or 4 parties to take them down. But they roam in public spaces. It's not a phased area, and they're always around. So they're kind of there. They're really cool to look at. They're really dangerous, and if you want to kill them, you're going to have to gather enough parties together to beat them up. They don't have the best equipment in the game. That still remains with the Flashpoints and the operations.
Okay, we got another one here from Darth.
What are some of the elements in operations designed to help group organization and planning, i.e. feature, group leader, or target set and system icons?
You're going to have to repeat that one.
That's right. That's right.
What are some of the systems that help group coordination in so many words? We have assist target stuff, we have the basic sort of targeting things you expect, and marking targets as well.
What's it like as a developer to work on one of the biggest IPs ever in cinema history?
It's awesome. It's a privilege and a thrill. And I'll let James.
Well, Star Wars definitely is the biggest IP in the world, and we all love Star Wars at BioWare. It's been a dream for many of the people, including myself and Gabe here, to work on a Star Wars game. I've had the luck to work on 2 Star Wars games now, and this one is, the great thing about working on the Old Republic is the scope of it's so huge. We've been able to pretty well do every single thing we've ever wanted to do in a Star Wars game in this game. And everything that we haven't done, we're going to be doing in content after release.
Here we go. We have one here.
I was just wondering about armor customization, like for endgame armor and stuff like that. Are you going to be able to color it or change it around any?
So the endgame armor look is very specific. So you'll be able to recognize that dude's a badass. We have different ones for PvP and the PvE, like Operations Flashpoint tracks. And there's some other fun customization elements. I don't know if you want to add to that, James.
Are you talking about moddable items? Oh, so one of the things, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but one of the things about Star Wars is it has very iconic looks to it. If you look at like, Yoda, he doesn't really wear too many fancy clothes. He's never wearing any fancy clothes. He wears basically a brown paper bag. It's not that bad, but it's pretty simple. Same with Obi-Wan or any Jedi. So we didn't want to have an itemization system where it's essentially stopped at the normal Jedi robe. So you continue to, as you level up as a Jedi or as a Sith, your equipment gets more and more ornate, cooler looking, you get armor. But we wanted players at the highest level to also be able to have their character look like the iconic characters from the movies. And to do that, we have armor types which are called moddable armors. And when you get a moddable armor, you can essentially modify it with items that you find in the game, and that way you can make a low-level armor into a very powerful armor. So you could take, say, a low-level brown Jedi robe from level 8, and you could mod that with the highest level mods that you're getting out of an operation, and then make it so that that armor is actually useful to you, and you can actually look like Luke Skywalker from the movies or Obi-Wan from the movies.
Speaking of modification, my question here. Are there any plans to have a customizable GUI?
The customizable
UI.
There are some elements that are customizable on it, and you know, we're working forward and we're tackling some other elements, and we'll see how many we get before launch.
We have a pretty cool pre-order incentive. Let me show you guys. If you pre-order now,
Hey, so I've been kind of a long-standing guild across several games, and every game has kind of something for guilds. Like even World of Warcraft is starting to give some guilds, even though we don't have them anymore. I'm wondering, besides a chat channel, what we're looking at for guilds, for benefits, for sticking around in a big guild, kind of doing awesome stuff, taking over territories, just kind of being badass in general.
The benefits to being in a guild, essentially.
Well, we're going to be shipping with basic guild features for sure. Everything that you can do to form a guild and to run a guild and to have guild ranks within the guild. However, you're probably talking about things like leveling a guild and guild quests and all that kind of stuff. So that's stuff that we all have planned, we have designs for, and I can't promise it for ship, but it's very high up on the list of things that we want to do in the game, because obviously having guilds that people want to stay with are going to cause people to want to stay with the game. So it's good for us if we make guilds have a lot of powerful, sticky features to them.
So you were talking about having your armor from level 8 that you then upgrade with stuff from operations. And to me that implies that you're going to have a lot of stuff that you kept from when you were level 8. How much storage space are you going to have available to you? Is that going to be realistic that you can keep a ton of stuff?
Well, you have a whole starship. You can store a lot of shit in that starship. Or stuff. I mean, stuff.
It's going to be like an episode.
I forgot there's kids in the audience. Sorry.
Hoarders in space. What about the inventory itself? I think you can do something there too, right? Your personal inventory.
Yeah, you can expand your
inventory. Excuse me. Apparently not a very inquisitive crowd.
All right, thank you.
Think they're all going to buy the game?
Want more swag? Whoa, that was a surprise. Allison, help him out. David, thanks everyone.